Hey howdy hey, welcome to Silhouette Studio 101 with Auntie Tay. I'm super excited for this series because I love this program a lot. I was very intimidated when I did not know how to use it, but now that I am familiar with it and realized it was only going to take me a couple of hours to get familiar with it, I will never go back. I actually like this more than Illustrator. I am trained in Illustrator in the entire Adobe suite, but I still run to Silhouette Studio when I have a chance because some of the tools that they offer are just so quick and easy that I will have to just swallow my pride sometimes and say I like Silhouette Studio better than Illustrator. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to break up the entire series into little baby steps. Today we're gonna go over, well, you can watch the videos in any order and back to back if you want, but right now in this video I'm gonna go over the tools that I like the most and the basic tools and just navigating the entire studio and where everything is. Now, some of these tools on your studio may be grayed out, and what that means is you don't have the same edition I do. So a quick way to find out what edition yours offers is to go to silhouetteamerica.com and go to their software. They have a comparison spot for all their different editions, and these check marks show you which edition they have. Now, you can start with the free basic edition. This is what I suggest, and then move your way up, because if you buy the designer edition and eventually decide you want the business edition, you just have to pay the difference. This is also a price that means that it's yours forever. So once you buy this program, it belongs to you, and all the designs you create are yours, and you can save them onto your own devices, which makes this an actual design program versus something like Cricut Access, which holds on to all of your designs and doesn't allow you to keep them or take them anywhere. So you can just look through all of this and see what you think you would want. The coolest part about this page right here is these little video buttons will actually have a YouTube video to go along with every single tool. This is why I decided I wanted the business edition, because I was looking at creating my own fonts, and this is definitely an advanced video. So when we get to some of these tools down here, they'll be later in the game. We will definitely start with all the tools you guys have first, but I wanted to be able to export SVGs, so I definitely knew I needed to start with the designer or the business edition. And then digital font creation was actually something that grabbed my eye and made me jump into Silhouette Studio. Now, these are tools that are extremely advanced, like I just said, but they are really awesome for designing. And if you're in the business of designing anything for your business, this can be something that you definitely want. However, I do suggest just download the free basic edition and get familiar with the program to decide if you even like it before you jump ahead and decide to upgrade. Although I highly, highly suggest it, and I am not paid to say that, and I do not make commission off of any of this. Okay, let's go back to the studio. So we're just gonna go over all the tools right now, and then we'll jump into the tools in other videos. So, I also didn't show you, if you click these videos, this will take you to Silhouette's.
Silhouette Studio is the powerful but easy-to-use software program that runs your Silhouette.
So every single tool has about a 5-minute video. So obviously every single tool is going to take a long time, and you can see that the edition that they are using in these videos is a little outdated, but it is still very, very relevant. So just getting familiar with some of those tools, that is a good resource to help you. Or you can watch my series, and I will be doing some fun design stuff in it as well. Okay, so up here is your basic tool panel, and over here on your right side is your extensive tool panel, I like to call it. It kind of mimics itself. This panel up here is kind of like a shortcut, and this panel up here is kind of like a shortcut. So these are going to get you somewhere quickly. These are going to get you more advanced in each tool. So for example, right here is where we will open a new page. Okay, so I just clicked that and it opened a completely new page. And then these are, if you hover over them, they actually tell you what they are as well. So if you want to open something you've already done, save it, print it, cut something. So this is just like copy and paste or cut and paste. This is your copy button and this is your paste button. So cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, multiple undo. So this will undo multiple times. It's a cool, fast little thing. Select all. So this will select everything you have on your art page. Deselect all. So if you don't want to grab anything and you want to just automatically do it, select by color. Now we'll go into this tool because it's extremely useful when you are working with a very advanced SVG and you want to grab a bunch of little baby pieces. But this is a tool to be able to grab like all of the black pieces, and it helps save time and you don't have to hold very many buttons down. Zoom in, zoom out, drag over a shape and zoom. So these are all basic explanation, like they explain themselves. Up here is your lines. So I am just going to start by adding a shape. Let's just add a star, which again, your shapes can be very, very extensive. I can actually add different amounts of little points on it. I can change the shape of it. So we will go into working with shapes. The shapes in this program are very, very versatile. So I'm just going to put a shape on here and I'm going to put a word on here. So Auntie Tay. So I can show you what a lot of these tools do. Now you'll see that they are white with red outlines. The fastest way to change that is with these panels. Now you can see a bunch of tools popped up when I actually selected a shape. There are a lot of things we can do with shapes in this program. So let's change it to a really pretty color. So this is its internal color and this is its cut line. So we're going to just turn it off. I like to turn them off for the most part and keep them solid on the inside. So I'm going to turn this one my lovely peachy color and turn off the outside. And I can turn this black if I want to. This is your line. This can change the outside of your design. That will actually change the actual cut as well. But if you are doing like a PNG or a graphic, it'll actually show like this when you export it. So then your line style, this is very similar to a design program like Illustrator. You can change the line, you can change the thickness of your line right here, and then you can change your font. For a long time I was using this panel, and I'm going to show you where now I use the panel. I do not go through this entire thing because it takes forever to scroll. If you know what font you want, you can type it in here and you can get there pretty quickly. However, I don't always know what font I want, and I have thousands of fonts, so I can change it right here if I want to, but we'll go over here in a second and I'll show you why I use that panel over here. Okay, so when you click a font, you've got bold, italic, underlined, your alignment. So obviously it works like a text. We can align these two shapes right here with the alignment tool. I can align them top, align them center, align them bottom, align them to the right, align them to the left. So that's your alignment tool. These are center to page, so that's going to bring it to the center of your page. Everything to the center of your page. Group selected shapes, so that's going to group these together. This one is going to ungroup them. This one is going to send to the back, bring forward, and send backwards. So if I want to send my shapes, I'm going to bring this one to the front. It's a quick, these are all quick little things so that you have shortcuts. They're not very advanced, they're just your quick things. And then we have weld, so I can weld these together. I'm going to undo that really quickly because I just wanted to show you that. So that's weld. And then we have our lovely offset, which has set Silhouette apart from any other program for a while. So I can just offset this. We will definitely do a video all about offset. So don't worry about if any of this is confusing. Again, just showing you where everything is in this video. Okay, and then we have duplicate. So this will actually duplicate whatever we have selected. If I have all of these selected and I click duplicate, everything will duplicate. Again, we will go into these more in depth. This is delete. So that deleted the whole thing. My tools will not pop up again unless I click something. Okay, so over here are our extensive tools, but before we do that, let me just show you these tools over here. So we have our select tool, and that's the tool you're probably going to be on the most. That just helps you grab, but every shape has a lot of fun little doodads with it. So with a shape, you'll get this green dot, which helps you rotate it. You'll get this red dot, which helps you bring those shapes in and out. You'll get, some of the shapes have these, which allow you to create more points, so you can do a really fun crazy shape, or you can do a very basic star. And then you'll have your points on the edge, and you will have your resize, and you can scale lengthwise, height, and diagonally to keep it proportional. So you have lasso tool, which will help you grab shapes, which we will go into how to use that later. I don't use it very much. Then we have the edit points. What this does is allows you to go in and actually edit points on different shapes if it allows you. So here's a great example. This has a bunch of points. I can actually change this point out. This tool allows you to create some really amazing shapes. So if you were doing custom shapes or work, you could do that with that. We have a line tool, and any tool that has this little triangle means that there are more tools underneath it. So we have a line tool, we have a polygon tool. I'm not going to go into all of these, but we will definitely go into these later in other videos. Then we have our rectangles, basic shapes. Here's all of our fancy shapes. These come in handy when you're doing a lot of fun things. And the more you play with them, the more your brain will start to think of how you can use these shapes as well. We have our draw tool, our text tool, which this is a quick way to write text. Hello. And we will work more with it over here. We have draw a note, which we're not going to go into, an eraser tool, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can erase things. We are going to undo that because we're not going to do that. And then we have the knife tool, which I do not want to go into in this video, and the transfer properties of a shape to a selected shape tool, which is like the eyedrop tool. So if I'm picking up that and I select, let's see, if I select this star, it actually took that and changed it to that. So I'm going to undo just so you guys can see my path. Okay, so over here is some more. These are how you're going to go into your tool panels. And when we click the page setup, this is where we're going to set our entire background page up. If I am using a vinyl or something that is 12 by 12 and I'm using a 12 by 12 mat, I typically set my media size to 12 by 12. If I'm doing print and cut or I'm designing something for a PDF, I typically will just select letter. You can design it sideways with this button or up and down with this button. And of course you can change a lot of these things, so get familiar with that. There's also a lot more in here. So don't get overwhelmed, but just definitely play with some of these things. But again, I'm not going into any of these because I don't feel like they're necessary to get started with the program. So we have lots of things you can play with in here. But we just like page setup for now. I'm not going to go into pick scan because that is a little bit more extensive. Here is your color panel. So this helps you control a little bit more. So in my color panel, I have my fill color. I can change it pretty quickly in here. I have my fill gradient, so I can gradient it, or pattern fill, which you can fill with different patterns this way, or we can fill it with a pattern by dragging and dropping a pattern into it. And we will definitely go into that in the text video, which you will not want to miss. Okay, here's we can also make it transparent if you'd like to as well. And of course, there are advanced options, so you can pick more colors if you don't like any of these colors. Then we have our line, and this is the outside, the same thing we were working with up here in the left corner, but now it's a little bit more detailed. So I can hyper focus my thickness. I can change the shape of it with the style. I can change the color right here. So if I want it to be orange, I can change the corner shape this way. So just play with these panels and you'll see where everything is. And then we have our trace tool right here. This will be really beneficial when we are trying to do knockout and when we are trying to do print and cut, and we will do a whole video on trace. Right here is image effects. This is more of like a Photoshop type thing. So if I wanted to give this different photo effects, I definitely can. I can bring photos in and manipulate them if I'm going to print and cut them. So it can get pretty fancy. Our alignment tool, now this is, I typically just use the alignment tool that's up here. If I were to select two, I would just use the quick alignments, which are right here, because there's not much more to the panel unless I'm going into some of these. So I have these in my quick set over here, but I can also do a little bit more alignment. But I also have a lot of things I can do right here. And you can see they can rotate 180. So these are just things that will really help you learn to design even faster when you start to play with this program. So don't get overwhelmed because these are going to help you, and they might seem like a lot in the beginning, but you'll learn to love them. So this will move it all the way to the left, this will move it all the way to the right, this will move it all the way to the top of your board. So you can play with some of these things too. I suggest just open this program and click all the buttons and just see what they do. This one is actually really cool, and I will do some design with you stuff. So let's just say this very interesting colored Auntie Tay. Say I wanted it to be duplicated in different ways. So I could duplicate it to the left, or I could duplicate it to the right, which if I click this again, it'll go to the right. I could duplicate it to the bottom. I could duplicate it to the top. Let's click this again so I can duplicate it to the top. I can fill the page with it. It'll fill the entire page. That's really cool if you're doing like stickers and you just want to have them fill the entire page. We can also mirror them. So mirror, so if you want like a cool reflection look, and then so on and so forth. So I can mirror to the top, mirror to the side, mirror to the other side, and swing your partner. Okay, rotate copies. So we can rotate a bunch of them, and we can do this or this. Like I said, get in here and just click the buttons so you can really see for yourself what they look like. I'm gonna actually delete a bunch of this so we're not too muddled up with all this stuff. So that's a really cool panel right there. Now, the weld, subtract, divide, all of this, it might be familiar if you use Cricut Access, but this is a little bit more extensive. We will go into this, but however, this is going to be your panel where you want to divide shape. So I'm going to go over both of these, and I'll just click divide just to show you what it does. Sometimes it does take a while because you're dealing with extreme vector images sometimes. The Auntie Tay right here has a fill and a line, and it's not just a very basic shape. And we don't have to only use 2 shapes. So you're going to see that we're going to get a lot of different shapes. So you really want to play with this. It's definitely more simple if you're just doing a circle and another circle, which we will go into this panel all by itself. We have our offset panel. So let's just do a shape. I actually am going to do a whole video just on offset actually. So let's just grab this star. I already showed you a little bit of what offset does, but what it does is it makes a shape outside of your shape, but we can play with the distance. We can do an internal offset and play with the distance on the inside. Square, round. I will do a lot of, or an entire video just on offset. And then we have some more extensive tools that I'm not going to go into in this video just because not everybody has these tools, so I don't want to make anyone feel left out. But as we get better and better at Silhouette Studio, I will definitely move into more advanced videos, things like the rhinestone, or it's called the stipple panel, but it's great for rhinestones, how to create your own fonts. There are a lot of really, really amazing things that this program can do. So that is navigating around this. Again, check out this page right here, silhouette.com or silhouetteamerica.com. Go to the the edition comparisons, and then if there were any videos or any tools that you really want to learn right away, you can definitely check out these videos. If not, I will be making videos on them soon. And thank you for watching Silhouette 101. Love you guys. Bye.